We're off air. Do it. We're still off air. Do it. Hey,
No.
we're live. What are you doing? You hit the button. Wasn't ready. Look, hopefully there's nobody on yet. I got an errant eyelash. Of course, this is being recorded, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it'll be in a future episode.
It'll be recorded and posted, and then people will be watching you.
Bam, me yelling, do it, and then talking about an errant eyelash. Surely if everybody's had one, and all of a sudden something breaks loose and just stabs you right in the eyeball.
All right. Oh, Dan E. just joined in. And Scott Monroe. What's up?
Woo! Monroe coming over from across the big water.
This is very impromptu. Me and Bart were talking about doing a show later tonight. And we both had some free time all of a sudden pop up on us in the afternoon. We both have samples of the George Dickel 17-year-old distillery release.
That's right. Now, Bruno or Scott has already poured his. I've not poured mine, so I'm just showing you the sample. It's the Dickel Reserve 17. I'm pouring it now. Keep going, brother. What?
Great live step-by-step commentary.
Yes.
Bart is raising his Glencairn. He has the bottle open.
I've raised said Glencairn. This is without our logo. This is like a pure Glencairn, and people are now observing a pour. So there you go. That's good TV right there, brother. Come on. Nobody's doing that.
Dan E. says that he has not had the eyelash whiskey.
The eyelash whiskey.
Yeah, because you were rubbing your eyelash.
That is true. I'm just talking about when one of them eyelashes like breaks free and stabs your eyeball. That's what I'm talking about.
So anyway, we got the 17-year-old George Dickel Distillery release, Bartow, and what are we going to do?
We're going to test it! Oh.
And Jamie Beaver just came in too. Howdy, Jamie. Guys, we're gonna try to keep this one shorter. We already talked about it. We wanted to try to keep it maybe 30-minute time frame.
That means we're talking 2.5 hours.
Just in case people look and they see those hour-long ones and they think, "Oh dear God, I ain't got time for that."
Yeah,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, these guys are yammering for an hour and 35 minutes. But what are we covering today other than this live sample? What else are we talking about? By the way, I've got my wooden chair. Bruno says it's squeaky and you can hear it and it drives him crazy. So I'm shifting intentionally right now.
Yeah, I've told him he needs to get rid of that old rickety wooden chair.
I told him it adds character. It's character. It's old like me. It's creaky. So what else are we doing? We talked about our 2016 stats.
We were going to look a little bit at some of our stats from 2016 and talk about some of our most liked shows, some of our most disliked shows, maybe the shows that have gotten the most views through 2016.
Right. These aren't our most liked. These are what the people have spoken and basically liked some things and didn't like others.
This is kind of the People's Choice Awards, right?
Right. It's basically how the chips landed. We put out several shows and what hit and what didn't. By the way, there is a surprise shocker there. We put one out, I want to say October, and it ranked in our top 5. And that means that baby's going to keep on trucking.
Yep.
So that's always surprising when a late entry like that manages to break in on views for the whole year and rank in the top 5. What?
Well, we got Nottingham NG17 from Nottingham, England has joined in. Whiskey Life from Germany is here with us.
Good.
Lloyd Fink thought that was pretty funny. That ain't nobody got no time for that.
Hey, that's how we talk up in here.
And Scott Monroe has pointed out that the quote is from all 3 of the original trilogy Star Wars movies.
I'll even go further. It's all 6 plus the Rogue One. They've got it in every single one.
Is it the original 3?
It's the original everything.
The 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, so supposedly it's been in every single one. That's like a little shtick they put in there. I got a bad feeling about this.
I know they had Han say it again in The Force Awakens.
Right. I can guarantee it's in 4, 5, and 6 and Rogue One.
They might have had Obi-Wan say it in one of the prequels.
That'd be interesting.
It was always Han Solo that would say it.
Yeah, I do remember Obi-Wan saying it when like Anakin jumped out of their little air car when they're chasing the hitman with the dart gun or whatever.
All right, a couple more. Rob Divers, he says, when it comes to testers, we are quite the pair. We agree. We are.
Yeah, we are unique. We will guarantee that to you.
Day Dramming, he's got a little bit of a flight delay at LAX, so he's tuning in. Malt Sand from South Africa is here. Whiskey Rover, got a few people joining in. Once again, impromptu tasting, guys. We got the George Dickel 17-year distillery release. We're going to try to keep this one shorter, and Bart's already trying to go down rabbit trails here.
What?
We wanted to try to keep this one maybe 30 minutes and just keep a little bit shorter tasting going. We're going to hit the tasting, and we're going to talk about some of our 2016 best videos.
Boom.
Let's move right into it, Bart.
Yeah, I know. What do you got on the nose there?
Woo.
Yep, little alcohol spark right off top.
I got a different kind of fruit, almost like a lime citrus.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
This is, I can't find the ABV of this online. 17 years old. Now, Dickel, a new, I don't know if it's a master distiller. Somebody came in, a female, and I had her name in the last screen I was on. It was right. Alyssa. Here it is, Alyssa Henley.
Right. She was the understudy.
She was perusing through the warehouse one day, and she found a batch of barrels that had been forgotten in the back of the warehouse. And it was this, what would be 17-year-old Dickel Reserve. So fearing that it had sat there too long, they tasted it.
Hold on. I got to call marketing. I mean, I believe there's some truth in there, but a marketer got together and really, as soon as they went into fearing, that's marketing. I believe they were set aside. I don't think in the modern day of taxation you can lose barrels of whiskey.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, I love
some of that. I was ad-libbing a little bit of.
Oh, well, then I pull back. Maybe it's verbatim, and you just flowered it up a bit.
They did supposedly they found these barrels, a 17-year-old. Now I kind of was ad-libbing the part about how they feared it had been aged too long. They tasted it and they said, "Holy crap, this is good stuff."
I'm glad you censored yourself right there. I thought you were going to break out an expletive live, baby.
Now this comes to us from Jesse. Jesse Voisin, he sent us these samples. Thank you, Jesse. And he was actually at the distillery, him and his wife, this last summer, did a little Bourbon Trail tour, and they stopped there and picked this up and sent us the samples. So thank you, Jesse.
Thank you. And you know what I like about Jesse? He has been reverse binge watching. He
went back, and I think he watched us from episode number 1 all the way through.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, would it still be reverse binge? Well, yeah, he's just binge watching. I see comments. Like he came across a couple where I may have made a comment that sounded inappropriate. I want to say it was number 8, but I'm not sure.
Made it sound inappropriate.
Yeah, I said something like I really liked the fruity or something. I don't know. He was all over me talking about delicious fruit.
Oh. Okay, so there is some oakiness that comes through, maybe a little bit of the charcoal filtering still.
Yep. Yeah, I get the wood. I'm with you. There's some kind of actual charcoal. Man, I can't talk. Charcoal smoke smell. And a floral note, almost like a floral / iodine note that comes up.
Hey, real quick, Amy is with us, and she says that her husband, also known as Amy's husband. He's been reverse binge watching also.
There you go. Wait till you get to the yoga episode for those that haven't seen that. Woo! I display what used to be a form-fitting. Well, no, it's still form-fitting, but it's that clingy Under Armour in white, and everybody knows white does not hide the folds.
All right, I'm going in for the first sip neat here. Let's see if we can tell what the ABV is. If anybody knows the ABV of the 17-year-old Dickel Distillery release. Comment and let us know, because I cannot find it online.
I'm calling it a 46 ABV. Might be a 43. It doesn't feel like a 40 to me. It's got a little bit of spark to it.
It's not too much higher, I don't think. Boy, a lot of that charcoal filtering is still present. A rich woodiness. Too much longer in the barrel might have killed it.
Yeah, a little too much wood for me already. Whoops, see, that's how I say stuff that sounds weird right there. Boom. But it is. This is a little bit oaked up for me.
Whiskey Life is asking if we know the Palm Ridge, which is a someone else said something about, is that Florida distillery? I think I've seen that, but we haven't. I've seen it online, but that's about it.
Yeah, I know nothing about Palm Ridge.
There is a citrus sweetness in there with this. Oranges, pears.
All right, right at the tail end, I get a slight hint of toffee. Comes off bitter, almost a bittersweet to me. And again, I get like a tree bark wood, but it's a muted tree bark. I saw your water there. I don't have my dropper, but go ahead.
I was just going to say, I bet this is 43% at the highest. And Day Dramming has now commented it's 43.5%. He's got the mash bill stated as well. This is 84% corn, 8% rye, and 8% malted barley.
All right, for me, this spent too long in the barrel, but that's with a caveat, because I'm not as much up on the wood flavors. I prefer the younger flavor that I'll get, from a virgin oak barrel, which is like the vanillas and stuff. But when it spends this long in it, if it ends up giving it this much of a wood flavor, I don't like it as much. What? Somebody's commenting?
Lloyd Fink, it reminded him of our first episode when I go, we are, and I'm kind of pausing thinking, and you said what? Gay lovers?
That was beauty incarnate right there. The first episode and our timing was in. Yeah, he paused on whatever you were going to say, and I thought, man, I know what I want to say. And then you paused just a little longer, and I threw it out. For those that haven't seen it, go watch the very first episode. It's a little rough. We're actually at Scott's house. Our seating is flipped. So I'm actually sitting to what would be your right?
Yes.
And whenever I look at it, I'm like, ugh, just doesn't look natural anymore. So
I don't think this has spent too long in the barrel. This is about right for me. I think it's pretty good. There's a lot of oakiness in there. A lot of the charcoal. I know you don't like yours over oaked.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I know you prefer some of those wood flavors. I really don't as much. And that's why I got to admit, when I saw 17 on it, I was like, oh, boy. But you never know. I mean, we've had some 35-year-old Scotches that are just beautifully smooth with almost no wood influence at all. So hits me a little sour at the end, which is something I'll tend to get from an oakier
more aged
as well. Yeah.
Day Dramming is asking if there's any expressions from the Balvenie that we've been itching to do. The only one we have online coming up is the 15-year single barrel sherry cask. We've done the 12-year double wood, the 15-year original single barrel, the 21 portwood. Did I say 14 Caribbean cask?
You didn't, but I think you did there. We haven't done the 17.
I'd love to do that one.
Right.
You should pick up a bottle of that, Bart.
Oh, that sounds like a grand idea. I'm sure it'd be a good bottle. That might be something. What if we did that for our 300th episode?
Maybe.
Yeah, that might be a good one, because we usually pick a special bottle when we hit our a century mark. So
All right, well, let's move in a little bit here. This is newer. We're gonna try to do some screen sharing here.
Yep.
And we're gonna pull up some of our stats and talk about them.
Yep, we're getting a shift there. Wow, that was interesting. There was a cascading.
What did you have in the email? You had our watch time. Okay, here's our views, basically our overall stats for 2016. If you look at our views at the beginning, here, let me put it in let's look at a weekly.
Right.
So back at the first part of 2016, we were getting 3,300 views a week.
What's that crazy drop? I don't remember seeing that crazy drop down.
That's an incomplete week. That probably has 2 days or 3 days in it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So, but if you look at week 1 of 2016, 3,300 views, 3,200, 3,400. And at the end of 2016, we're up to almost 10,000 views a week. So almost tripled 300% our views.
Right. It was a killer year for us. I mean, it really was.
Now we'll scroll down. Let's look at our most viewed videos here for 20.
Now, when you screen share and I start talking, does it revert back to me? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't have that up to see if it is or not.
Let me be quiet then, but I'll let you go over the top 5 there, which let's just say, huh?
Top 5?
Don't go views, go watched minutes, because watched minutes is what YouTube tracks.
I thought you said you was going to be quiet.
Well, but I got to put out that you're on views instead of watched minutes.
I know. I'll click over. All right. So our top 5 in views for 2016, En route Fusion, number 1. Number 2 is one we did, how to pick a branch of the military. That was one we kind of did on a whim when we first got started. It wasn't a Scotch review or a beer review or anything like that.
But you're still on views instead of watch time.
I know. I said, let me go over the views first, and then we'll click over to watch time. Our number 3 in views, top 5 Scotches for beginners. Glenmorangie, 18-year, extremely rare. And then Yamazaki, 18. Now, if you just come down here 2 more, though, number 7, we just posted this in October. This is the Ardbeg versus Laphroaig video, which is done real well. So now I'll click over watched minutes.
Right. The reason I was bringing up watch minutes, and I'll be honest with you, I almost never even look at views, because views has a lot to do with how good's the thumbnail, what are you looking at here, what's the title like, whereas watch time says, hey, we put out a video, and generally it means a lot of people watched it and they watched it at length, because there's a lot of shenanigans you can do with views. We could go throw in some cleavage shot, and our views would be our most viewed, because people would click on it for 1 second and then they'd go, okay, I don't want to watch Scotch, and they'd leave. So that's why YouTube covers watch time in minutes rather than views.
Okay. So our going by minutes, then our number 1 video for the year is the top 5 Scotches for beginners. Number 2 is En route Fusion, again, which was number 1 in views. Our number 3 highest viewed in minutes is the top 5 America's bourbons or whiskeys of 2015. Number 4 is Laphroaig Shootout, that's where we took 7 different Laphroaigs and compared them to each other.
Man, Scott almost hit me on that one.
And then number 5, Ardbeg versus Laphroaig, that come out just in October.
Right. So just talking about a couple of those real quick. The En route Fusion has actually our biggest viewer group from that geographically has been India. I mean, that thing just blew up after it was out for several months, and then in India it just exploded. And then our top 5 Scotches for beginners has been like an evergreen video. It's going great. Bruno and I have actually talked about later this year, we'll probably do a top 5 bourbons for beginners.
Okay, let's go into real quick. Dan E asked about if there's no interest in Japanese or Indian whiskey. We've done a couple of Japanese. We've done a couple of Indian whiskeys. I love the En route Fusion. we've got another Japanese that's coming up here in a week or two.
Yep, I weigh. I always forget how to say it. Iwee's coming up in probably a couple weeks, 3 weeks. They'll see it.
Yeah. All right, now let's talk about let's go into our most disliked videos.
Right. This part I like.
We've gotten more in January, probably. So here's let's just pull up here. This is going to be for the last year. There's our top 5 most disliked videos.
The caveat here is they're also our most liked.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah, what happens is so many people see them and click on them, you end up picking up a few more haters. So we'll take it any day of the week, honestly. Honestly, that Ardbeg versus Laphroaig 10-year versus 10 year has just been killing it.
Yeah. And you'll see that's our number 1 most disliked review. And actually it shows 7. It's picked up 8 more dislikes just in January because it's up to 15 overall dislikes. Well,
compare that if you click on the likes. I want to say it's almost the same. That's why I almost never even look at dislikes.
We will, yeah. I like the dislikes. I think it's kind of funny. Number 2 most disliked movie is the top 5 Scotches for beginners. Our Lagavulin 16 review is number 3 in dislikes. Jack Daniels Old Number 7 is number 4 in dislikes.
I think they just didn't like the troll.
That could be. And the Glenmorangie 18-year extremely rare is our 5th most disliked. And that's just through 2016. That's not overall. Now, yeah, if you look here, so the top 5 with the most likes, number 1 is Ardbeg 10 versus Laphroaig 10. Number 2 most liked, top 5 Scotches for beginners. Number 3 most liked, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Bottle of Wow.
That's a good one. That should have been our number 1 right there. That bad boy bottle just surprised the heck out of me.
Number 4 most liked video is Old Granddad with the grumpy old Scotch test dummies.
Yep, and we've got more of those coming. And the young lady in the middle is my stepdaughter, who's a makeup artist. So she did us up as like 80-year-old whiskey dummies that are all grumpy. If you guys haven't seen that, go watch that one.
And then our number 5th most liked video for last year is again Laphroaig Shootout with the 7 bottles. Bam. All right, I'm going to take us off of screen sharing here just so people can see our beautiful mugs.
Bingo. I'm also very curious to see if when I'm talking it's going to pull back over to me or not. Right now you're in this weird display where I can see like your whole home page.
Was that coming through? Were you guys seeing the charts?
Yeah, if they weren't seeing the charts, that's going to be sad.
Yeah.
This is the first time we're using the charts. Although it looks like you haven't broken free and you're still in some weird screen sharing.
Well, I haven't yet because there's still a button over here that says present to everyone. And I don't know if I had to click that. It says I am screen sharing, but then it says present to everyone.
Yeah, we can all see it. We can all see your screen where it says stop. Yeah, there you go. All right. So what are their comments saying?
Oh, okay. Yep. They were seeing them.
Good. That's an interesting deal. We're trying to use new tech, and Bruno's better than me. We would have still been stuck on me going, I can't figure it out. I don't know where the button is.
I bet you didn't pop out the chat box either, so you could see the comments coming in, did you?
Right. No. I don't want to be distracted. When I'm here, it's showtime, baby. Showtime.
That is a problem with me sitting here and I'm trying to read comments and stuff. And a lot of times if we have a guest or if Bart's talking, I don't hear what they're saying because I'm concentrating on the comments.
Right.
So
you're a comment concentrator.
Well, I try to.
All right. I've moved on. I had to cleanse the palate. So Laphroaig 10 years in there, definitely not over oaked, just over peated, baby. And that's the way Bart likes it. Third person. Boom. All right. So overall, you hit on our top 5s that we saw. We had a good climbing year. Yeah, I was thrilled with this year's progress. Really, the live shows kicking in did just have been fun. Beyond being successful, they've been fun.
Yeah.
So the idea that we've had, I mean, just ticking it off, we've got a distiller coming up in a week. It's going to be Tomatin's going to be on with us live. We've had Raj, who's an importer. We've had Joanne McGinnis, who's a writer, a blogger. She goes to all these tastings and is a judge. And then we've had a lot of fans. Whiskey Daddy. Throw out some more. We had I'm blanking on his name. That's doing the charity out in the UK.
Ben Bowers, and he just wrapped up yesterday. It was his last. He did his last 2 or 3 tastings. Was online yesterday. He did them live.
Yeah, so we've been in Canada. We've been in the UK, Pittsburgh, all around the country. I know I'm missing some other people we've gone live with. Throw some more out. Now you're smiling at the comments. What are you doing?
Well, somebody. I'm not going. Well, everybody will know who it is. Somebody pointed out he thinks your test it every episode is annoying. You got to do it again.
Test it! Test it! Boom. Yeah, that's Kitch, baby. We love it.
And Whiskey Throttle is right. We do need an assistant to read our comments.
There you go. We need an assistant.
We had a third person just dedicated just to read. But then you wouldn't be interacting with the dummies if we did that.
That's true. Well, we could bring my son in. He's like a half a dummy.
Yeah.
He's just like his dad, baby. Half a dummy. He'd be pissed if he heard me. He'd be like, what are you doing? What are you saying that for? He's 10. So, I mean, there you go. We got some dead air here. You want me to fill it? Because God knows I can talk.
Just looking. I know we're at almost coming up on our 30-minute mark where we were going to try to kill it this time.
Well, I think we're doing good. We've hit the stats. Let me throw out a couple. We're talking about doing a show where we actually talk about our top 5 favorite videos, not in any given year. I'll throw out a caveat that it will not make that list for me, but for a chuckle, go check out the yoga, because a couple things that are behind the scenes here. One, I've recently actually started doing yoga, but at the time I'd done none, and Scott had done yoga, and he was taking it a lot more serious than I planned, and that surprised me, because I thought you were going to be in it for a lark, but you were like, dude, I don't want him thinking I'm stupid by giving you poses that you jack up. And I'm like, well, come on, it's me. Of course I'm going to jack. I'm the most non-flexible person anybody watching probably knows. So we knew it was going to be comedic if I just tried to do, the warrior pose or downward dog or what. You put me in the pigeon pose, and that's a joke right there, baby. It doesn't even need to be said. So, it was.
Bart, Barry Geipel's with us, and he's a big supporter. He's been with us a long time and bought glasses and coins from us, but he wants you to yell out, Bart. He wants you to yell, Jackie, it don't taste like ashtray.
Jackie, it don't taste like no ashtray, Jackie. That's Pete. It's the earth. That's what's good.
And Brendan Gifford is with us. He says that he likes the tested as well. He yells it out along with you when he's watching, and his neighbors thinks he's nuts.
Woo! I'm loving that. Yeah, join the nut crew. That's what we are, the dummy crew. Love it.
Marleone 1074 is with us. He says that the best one of 2016, the best tested, is the Laphroaig versus Ardbeg.
Oh, yeah, I was excited on that one. Was that the one where I extended it out until I ran out of breath?
I don't know.
No comment.
Yeah, well, they're all goofy.
Well, thank you. Yeah, little did you know I was going for seriousness when I yelled out, test it. What's funny is all that's organic. We did not sit down and plan like we need a catchphrase to open the show. No, it was organic. We didn't plan on Scotch it, you Scotch gods, and then the pause, and you say Cilantro, and then I say dummies. All that started to evolve. And that's one of the beautiful things really about the show is certain things have evolved. Now, you did come up with, hey, we need to have a Is It Worth It segment. So, but I mean, that was something that worked well too. But a lot of the verbiage has simply been organic. I don't even know why I yelled out Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
Yeah,
I think after
that one.
Huh?
Even the first time you did it, I was like, what was that?
Yeah, we were done, and you were like, "What? What was that?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just threw something freaky. It came to me, Scotch gods." And you were like, "Whoa, that was dumb." And then I think because you said it was dumb, I started doing it more. And the next thing you know, you're like, "Hey, end it with the catchphrase." So then we had that synchronous where you said Solancha, and then we both said Dummies on par, and it just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
That's been fun. I got to admit, there's been some fun little coinky-dink things that have happened.
All right. Well, we're at 31 minutes. Let's call an end to this one. That was our original goal in the first place. Make a short one.
You're right. It's hard to do. We're at 30 minutes, so you should read a couple more comments real quick. Couple more comments. Bring them in.
Ju Kim, he thinks we need a T-shirt with "Test It" on it. I agree. We do have. We've been talking T-shirts. We'll probably start doing some this year. We'll probably just start with a basic one though to begin with just the Scotch Test Dummies logo on it, and then we'll probably depend on how they sell, and if we do pretty decent, we'll probably make some more with some catchphrases, or we got a couple different ideas in mind.
Yeah, I mean, Test It. Scotch God. I've been working on maybe an image of what a Scotch God would look like. I'm not quite sure what that'll be.
Yeah.
I want it to be mythical.
Something about having an STD.
Yeah, maybe something with an STD, although we've got a buddy of ours that used to sell shirts, and he says you want something that everybody will be willing to wear out. In other words, wear it out in public. Nobody wants a big shirt that has STD on it real big. So
Whiskey Throttle is asking if we've tried Bowmore the Darkest. And yeah, we did a review on that not too long ago, within the last couple of months.
Yeah, sadly, I wasn't too impressed with it.
Yeah, I would agree.
I expected a little bit more, and it left me a little flat. So we're also, before we go, mention that we are selling through coins so fast, we're looking at a cask 2, which every time we reprint, like when we sell out of the first run of the coins, we're going to do a whole new style and change it up a little bit. So if you guys haven't, grab yourself a coin.
By the way, 109.
Oh. All right, real quick. I know you said it, but do you have, and I can't remember them all, do you have any video that sticks out bigger than the others for the year?
Oh, gosh, without looking back through to see what we done, the Grumpy Old Dummies was a good one for old granddad. Of course, the Laphroaig shootout and even the Ardbeg versus Laphroaig, those were both good ones.
Yeah, we had a lot. Even the bottle of Wow, that Elijah Craig barrel proof surprised me so much. Now, I'm going to spout out, though. I wouldn't say it's my favorite video, but probably my favorite experience was when the Glenlivet Nadura cask that was thrown in a peated cask. That thing, it just was funny because I was so exuberant. You were like looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, I am thrilled. So the look on your face there was, dare I say, precious.
Hey, Cato just joined us. You're almost too late, Cato. We're about ready to wrap it up. We were going to make this a shorter one, and Bart's already taken us. Our original goal was 30 minutes, and Bart's already taken us over it.
Boom. Took us over. Shout out some more comments, and then we'll close it.
Well, Frank Lampert just come in, and he's in our area in Wichita, but he points out he wants us to give a plug to Wheat State grand opening on Friday. I know they moved into a new place. I didn't realize they had not had a grand opening yet. They're down in the Old Town area.
Dave, I talked to Dave when they were moving in, and I actually thought they had the grand opening already. So that's good information. We reviewed their whiskey. So that's good. They've got a beautiful column still that they brought over from Germany. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
Jerry Miller, he likes the Anchorman episode, of course, the Ron Burgundy Scotch. That was early on, though. That's probably an early part of 2014 video. That was a great one, though, too.
Oh, God, yeah. We broke the fourth wall like 18 times on that one.
Lewis Wells joined us. He heard somebody mention OGD. He wasn't even online. He just heard old granddad mentioned, and his ear hair started tingling, and he came online, and he found us talking.
Bam. Wait till we review the 114 there, Lewis. I am digging it.
Frank says that the Wheat State Brewery grand opening is Friday the 28th. So coming up.
Wow.
Someone we were talking Irish whiskeys on here as well, and Dan E likes the Connemara 12-year-old, and I hope that's not the peated Connemara.
That is, baby. That's what he's talking about. That's his favorite one. I got to admit, that's your best description I've ever heard you come up with. It was like Gouda cheese wrapped in plastic and thrown in a fire, I think is how you described it.
I think that was the Swiss one, the Santa's peated.
Maybe it was. I can't remember. Either way, neither one of those impressed you too greatly.
Connemara was more like a hairball wrapped up in plastic and thrown in the fire.
See, and I like the Connemara. It was okay. It did have there was a little weirdness to it, so I get you. But I still like that it was an Irish peated. So
hey, come on,
we're gonna have a guest walking on here. You're live, Bo. You're live on TV.
Cool. I'm out of here.
There you go. Thank you. See, that's what happens when you film. I'm filming without a net. My wife is not here, and so the older boy's watching the younger boy. That's the older boy.
All right. Hey, let's a couple of comments. We're gonna we need to wrap it up. I think George Kaplan liked the hot pepper habanero episode. That was a good one too. That was I think the original Bowmore, not the darkest, but the Bowmore small batch or something like that. Yes, Whiskey Throttle, same address. And then we've had a couple comments about revisiting bottles that we've done in the past, and yeah, we could. That would definitely save us some money if we revisited bottles.
Yeah, but the problem is we actually got a backlog.
Yeah.
I mean, we got new bottles sitting on the shelf. We just filmed several where we tried to clear up some of our backlog where we were hitting on bottles that we'd tasted or tested a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, because one thing we'll do is if something hot comes in, like sometimes we'll get a rare release that comes to us or we're able to source, or we'll just say, man, this is delicious. Let's get a review of this out. And we for a while there, we kept parking some of the older bottles, and we had a filming session for our pre-recorded shows. We were like, let's clear some of the old stuff out. Any other comments? And then I know you probably want to sign off. We're at 30.
Almost 40 minutes. We were going to keep this one short. Let's go. Let's call it.
Shut it down, baby. Shut it down. I got to get me some some Elijah Craig barrel proof.
You entitled me as the producer with full editorial rights quite a while back, and I think it's time. Our original intention was to cut this one short, so let's do it.
Do it. Kill it.
Thanks to everybody tuning in. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the comments. I was trying to keep track with some of them here as we were going. And Lewis, go ahead and buy that Knob Creek maple.
Yeah, get it. I never got a chance to actually try that one. It got dumped on me.
You tried it. You didn't like it. Let's go.
Yeah, I did take a sip. Shut her down, baby. Salut. Oh, shoot. You confused me. I wasn't sure you're ready. Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
Cilantro, dummies.
I was like, what are you doing?